Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. President Volodymyr Zelensky says Ukraine has been hit by the biggest ever aerial attack from Russia, with 728 drones and 13 cruise or ballistic missiles hitting cities around the country in multiple waves. Zelensky condemned the telling attack, adding it comes precisely at a time when so many efforts have been made to achieve peace, to establish a ceasefire, and yet only Russia continues to rebuff them all. President Donald Trump said the US would send more weapons to Kyiv, a reversal of last week's suspension, which US media said Trump had not known about. On Tuesday, the US leader expressed growing frustration at the Russian President Vladimir Putin.
We get a lot of thrown at us by Putin, for you want to know the truth. He's very nice all the time, but it turns out to be meaningless. Okay, the Senate is passing and passed a very, very tough sanctions bill. Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Did you sign that?
It's an optional bill. It's totally at my option. They passed it totally at my option and to terminate totally at my option. And I'm looking at it very strongly.
A deadly crackdown on student-led protests in Bangladesh last year was authorized by the then Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. That's according to audio of one of her phone calls. In the audio, which was leaked online in March, Hasina says she authorized her security forces to use lethal weapons against protesters and that wherever they find them, they will shoot. Prosecutors in Bangladesh plan to use the recording as crucial evidence against Hasina, who is being tried in absentia at a special tribunal for crimes against humanity. Up to 1,400 people died in last summer's unrest, according to UN investigators. Hasina, who fled to India, and her party reject all charges against her. At least 161 people are still missing in a single Texas county 4 days after deadly and devastating flash floods hit parts of the state. That's according to the governor, Greg Abbott, as hope fades for survivors to be found. The missing in the hard-hit Kerr County include 5 campers and a counsellor from Camp Mystic, a Christian all-girls summer camp located on the banks of the Guadalupe River. At least 111 people have died in the disaster, according to the latest county-by-county tolls published by US media.
Know this: we will not stop until every missing person is accounted for. Know this also: there very likely could be more added to that list.
Oh no, oh no.
Meanwhile, at least 3 people have been killed in the village of Ruidoso in New Mexico after heavy rain caused flash flooding there. Up to 3.5 inches of rain fell, causing the Ruidoso River to rise to a historic level. The floodwaters have now receded. Local officials confirmed a man and 2 children died after being swept downstream. French firefighters are continuing to battle a wildfire that reached the outer edge of Marseille and has left more than 100 people injured. The city's mayor told local media that the blaze was decreasing but was still not completely under control. Restrictions which were imposed yesterday in the outskirts of Marseille have been lifted following a significant decline in the spread of the fire. According to the Interior Ministry, 110 people have been slightly injured, including 9 firefighters and 22 police officers since Tuesday. And Christian Horner has been sacked as Red Bull team principal after 20 years in the role. The 51-year-old had been in charge of the Formula One team since its inception in 2005, leading them to 8 Drivers' Championships and 6 Constructors' Championship titles. The dismissal follows months of declining form for the team and internal disputes at the highest level. It also comes 17 months after Horner was accused of sexual harassment and coercive controlling behaviour by a female employee. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.